walking along this trail, and I've never been here before on this particular trail. But it just struck me that it might be intended for horses, because somebody just approached me on a horse, and the horse just stopped in its tracks and didn't really dare to pass me, because I guess it's not, like she said, it's not used to seeing a person on this trail. But I want to see what's down here, get some good shots. Well, I'm going back. Not too much to see. I mean, I could keep going, but I'm sort of just wandering aimlessly. Now I'm noticing I didn't even see this on my way. I mean, when I can't speak. When I walked past this just now, I didn't even notice that there was a gym out here. I told you in a previous video earlier this summer, I guess, that there's quite a few, or at least a few in this city, and here's one more. Not really too much to do here, but is this really where I walked past? I think I'm lost. I don't think this is where I was before, because I'm going back in the other direction now, and I seem to be a bit lost, and I don't know how that happened. I feel like I just walked in that direction, and now I'm going back, but where the hell am I? Oh, I think I was in there, maybe. Can you see my shadow? It's really beautiful here. I'm up at the jogging track where I always am, but I decided to go down into this kind of valley of sorts, where I haven't really explored much. But maybe I should train some strongman with the tire and the stones here. Right now it's the Summer Olympics, and it was just gymnastics, which I don't ever watch the Olympics, but I just kind of did by chance, because I had Max. So I just thought that I would watch some of it, and then of course I've become relatively hooked on the whole spectacle now. So it's really fun. So I'm really looking forward to coming home and eating some dinner and watching the Olympics, but I want to be outside for a while before that. So we'll see what's on when I get home. I've been watching swimming a bit, table tennis, and I suppose that's it. It's only Sunday today, and the Olympics started. It was the opening ceremony on Friday. So Saturday, Sunday, only 2 days so far with competition. So there's nothing on at the moment, it seems like. That's surprising. Is that really true? Oh, no, there we go. Yeah, like nothing during the Olympics. I mean, there's always several sports going on at the same time, kind of battling for your attention. Not that I'm a sports guy really, but I am getting more into certain sports as I get older. Not just strength sports, but certain other sports that I enjoy watching a little bit from time to time. Oh, swimming. That's the main stream from Sweden as well. So we'll go with that one. I am gonna have me some oatmeal and drink plenty of water. Then I'm gonna work out. I don't know if I want to work out or if I want to take a long walk. I think I want to take a long walk, but I think that for me is like a couple of hours. But a burpee workout is more like 1 hour, and then I can be home. I'm not gonna miss as much of the Olympics, and I can be home and kind of have it on in the background as I work out. So, but I don't know. But I was just outside. I've noticed that my face is a little bit red in recent days because of the sun, obviously. But I try not to be outside before 6 o'clock, uh, at least not without sun lotion, because I don't have the complexion for that. Um, I have actually I talked recently about wanting to get back into film. Or I guess recently, when would that have been? In May, maybe. So a few months ago, I guess. It's August 1st today. You can tell that it's a new month because when you're outside, there's a bunch of people moving, and people always move in on the first of the month, um, at least in this country. Anyway, so I have been outside today, but it would have been nice to be outside a little bit longer. But I was saying something else. I was talking about having gotten into film again, or I talked about that a few months ago, like I said, of wanting to get back into film, watching film, and I actually have. It's just that the Olympics now is gonna. I mean, this is only once every 4 years, so I'm gonna prioritize this. I guess when I'm awake after midnight, when this is ending, maybe around 11 p.m. I don't know. That's when I'll watch more films. But I haven't been awake during the night now for a few days. But I did get back into film. I've been watching some George Kuchar films and various other stuff. I just, my taste changes all the time, and I'm not looking for obscure weird stuff just for the sake of it. It's just that after a while, you kind of get bored with the same old stuff. So at least I tend to look for more unusual things, I guess. So I haven't seen anything since that. I haven't seen anything since the 28th. But as you can see, it's relatively obscure stuff, but just stuff that I've had on my watch list for a while. Yeah, and then after that, you can kind of see when the dates change, when they jump all over the place. I haven't been watching a lot in June or May, and then nothing for a while. But yeah, so as you can see, it was very sparse. But now recently, the past few days here, I've been getting back into it, and I explored some interesting films as well. I think I may have learned about the Kuchar brothers, George and Mike, from John Wilson. Actually, I should have known about them before. Maybe I did. Maybe I had heard about them over the years, but not really registering their names. But John Wilson from the HBO show How To with John Wilson is an excellent show, absolutely great. And he has been inspired by the Kuchar brothers, and especially George Kuchar. He continued making diary films, documenting his life and whatever was happening around him, more so than Mike seemed to have done. But I have a DVD with Sins of the Fleshapoids, the Craven Sluck, whatever that means, I don't even know, and The Secret of Wendell Sampson. So it's interesting. It's a lot of and those are by Mike Kuchar, yeah. But their films have tapped into a lot of different genres, but it's a lot of like queer sensibilities, melodrama, heightened emotions, and very low budget. I noticed I have like a mark here. I don't know how I got that, but it's like a red line. I'm not sure if you can tell. Anyway, yeah, I don't consider myself part of the queer world exactly, but I do like queer cinema because it's sort of outsider stuff, which I usually respond to. So there's too many trees in the way, but it's You know, whenever I'm up here, there's always people around because this place is quite nice, you know, in the evening especially. So it never makes sense to film here, but you know, this is pretty much the town I live in. Most of my errands are in this frame, you might say. A little bit in that direction as well. Anywho, I guess I decided to go for a walk, not work out. Yeah, I feel like the summer evening was calling for me again. Does anyone recognize this place from my old videos? Probably not, but that's where we lived for a few years, and then inside, behind the buildings in the yard, we lived for another few years, another 10 years actually. So I have been filming in those apartments a lot. I'm not sure what I'm trying to say here, just showing off the past, I guess. So around this time is table tennis quarterfinals, which I would have liked to see because there's a Swedish guy in there, but I mean, there's so many interesting things every day, and I'm not a sports guy really, but I've enjoyed watching this more than I thought I might. So I wasn't sure if I wanted to walk by the up on the mountain or by the sea today. So when I was up on the mountain just now, a few minutes ago in this video, I think you could see the ocean from up there, and that is where I am now. So I've been walking quite a distance here. It's kind of like when I order pizza. I don't know if I want a kebab or a pepperoni, so I just buy both. This is like the healthy version of that somehow. Do I want to walk by the beach or up on the mountain? Well, I can't decide. Let's experience both today. But I don't necessarily need to do things, you know, the most or the best, but I do like pushing myself, and I don't know, sometimes when I find the joy in something like that fantastic post-workout feeling, I want to push myself even further next time and get an even better high. It's sort of the same thing with just taking walks and being outside with nature. I find just recently I've become a big fan of that actually. Not really stressing or hurrying, just what the fuck is this doing here? Who knows? Yeah, it's just a nice feeling when you get home after you've been outside and you've been all over the place, I guess. So this is where we would be as kids. When we were at school, we would always go down here to jog, and so I always think of my childhood when I go down here, even though I have been in this forest frequently since then. We would go down here for gym class, I mean.
Guess you better slow that Mustang down. One of these mornings, you gotta be with me, you're weeping.
this ghastly light is not flattering. I never feel... I feel like all angles are unflattering. Anyway, yeah, so 2 hours later and 10,000 steps later, I stopped by a lot and filmed stuff, so, and I took it easy. But yeah, that was a nice one. Feel good now. I don't even know who won the table tennis game. Let's see. Oh, it's still going. Okay, so this was postponed. I did see that when I was outside, and we are in the lead. Well, looks like we're gonna make it to the semifinals. I remember playing ping pong and badminton and tennis a little bit as a child, especially ping pong I really loved, because when you got into the rhythm of it and when you could really communicate with your opponent via the energy that you send back and forth, it's such a cool feeling. It's such an amazing feeling when the game just works and when the communication works. I mean, you're trying to win, obviously, but when you get into a back and forth and when you build that energy up, if you see what I mean, that's a really great feeling. And sometimes that happens here, and then of course the wave, the verbal wave of the audience builds as they respond to it. So that's also kind of cool. There we go. By the way, on the topic of table tennis, if you haven't seen this, I would highly recommend that. If you like anime, ping pong, the animation, it doesn't sound and look particularly exciting, but it really is. Alright, it's Saturday and I'm watching track and field and Sweden's Strongest Woman, which is, it was on today. I didn't see it live because I was sleeping, I think. But it's also clashing with the Olympics. But it's a very low quality stream because it's a very small competition, of course. They can't really do anything more than this, but this is quite admirable that they're even doing this. I usually watch this with the Sweden's Strongest Woman and Man, of course, every year. And so I'm watching it back. So I don't know who won actually, but I mean I can only assume it's between a couple people who have been at the top for a few years. Next week it's the end of the Olympics, and it's also the CrossFit Games, which I like watching. So it's a lot of sports now clashing, especially next weekend. It's gonna be like all weekend for the CrossFit Games and the Olympics. So I don't know exactly what I'll watch, but I'm gonna have to miss a bunch of things. You know what? I wasn't gonna do this, but I'm gonna go do some grocery shopping. Because I thought, well, I need to take a walk. It's evening. It's like 8:30 on a Saturday evening. Oh, I thought I heard some bug or something. And I'm gonna. I just thought just now that I've only slept for 4 hours, so I was gonna just take a lazy day. But I got so restless, so I just thought, well, let me go out for a walk, just a short late night walk again. But then I thought, well, I actually need to do some grocery shopping, and I don't know if I have time to do that tomorrow. Well, so I'm just gonna go to the supermarket. Why not? And I'm gonna, get two birds in one stone. I'm gonna take a walk and I'm gonna get some grocery shopping done. Does anyone else have this problem where you just all of a sudden you have this this random song on your mind, and then you're like, why do I have that song in my mind? All right, I was in a store just now and they played it, and now I can't stop thinking about it. It's always bad music too, that you've heard 1,000 times and just managed to forget. And then when you least expect it, bam, they attack you with an old baddie, and then it's there again. Anyway. And about 1 hour later, here is the haul. Bulgur, lettuce, tomatoes. These were so good last time I bought them. They were like just like candy, and they're quite cheap now as well. Spinach, which I don't usually buy, but I thought I'd fill out the salmon meals that I'm gonna make with a bunch of salad and then bulgur. And I'll put soy sauce on top of that, and I usually put this sweet chili on the salmon as well, which is usually quite nice. And a filling, healthy meal. I guess the only unnecessary thing I bought was the Monster here, but I was in the mood for something quenching because it is quite warm. So I am gonna go to bed soon, but I don't care. I'm gonna enjoy a quenching drink. So I always get a jump scare when I go down to the basement and I think there's a spider on the wall. And there is, but it's dried off. It's been hanging there forever. Come on. Okay, don't jump scare me anymore, okay? Even if I know you're there. Now, speaking of jump scares and speaking of spiders, it is still there. So this basement, please don't watch if you don't like big spiders. Well, it might not be anything like you have where you live, but let me tell you that thing is way bigger than what I'm comfortable with. Now, I think I've had one of those, a spider about that size once in my bathroom, but just once. But down here, oh, there's another one over there. Not as big though. Down here, for some reason, they get much bigger. And thank God I don't have those frequently in my apartment. Well, I brought down some boxes. I mean, I brought up some boxes because I need more boxes to ship stuff. Anyway, I was just gonna, it's the middle of the night, I was just gonna make a laundry appointment, and I thought I'd bring up some empty boxes from my storage room because I am in need of them for shipping things, but anyway. Well, so our Swede lost against Fen Shandong, I think his name was, which was expected, but that was still a cool merit for him to get. I'm currently putting through a bedside table from hell. It's no fun at all, but I'm almost done. I think I've done it correctly. This is for my grandmother at the retirement home. And then I'm gonna have to try and deassemble my couch, which really, I don't really know if you can tell on video, but it really is a bit of a mess. I've had to put this, it doesn't matter, it's just kind of tore down a lot over the years, and so I finally got a new couch, which I'm gonna get some help throwing this out tomorrow, and then we're gonna pick up the new one. So I hope that the new one will be an improvement. And I hope that I can deassemble this, because this is quite long and I don't know if we can get around into the hallway otherwise, so fingers crossed. I did want to do some refurnishing and move this couch over to this wall just to get something new, but I'm so used to having the solution with the bed and the couch next to each other, and I don't know, but it would be nice with some change, but no, I don't really know yet. So I think I'm just about done, but there are certain things that piss me off, because there does seem to be some discrepancies. So with this plank here, you can see there's 1, 2, 3 little holes. That's this one, right? And there's only 1, 2 holes. So that's, wait, so how would that be? Yeah. So that's like, so that side here is this side. That doesn't look the same to me. So it looks like they want you to put this one in here, which I've done. Alright, so far so good. But what do they mean here? So 1, 2, it looks nothing like that here. So that's wrong. So that's one thing. And then they also seem to have used a board that, wait, where was I looking? Right, so they want you to just leave this one unplugged, so to speak. And now supposedly this one should just go inside here. But yeah, oh right, there's another thing. So these screws here, BA10169. Right, BA10169. Here it says BA10170, and there's nothing that ends with 69, so that's wrong as well. I mean, I don't know what I'm missing exactly, but there's definitely a couple of things, and this was just a pain in the fucking ass, but I managed to figure it out eventually. But yeah, so now I think, yeah, I just have this little knob left, wherever I put that. I think that's the only thing I have left to do, and then I just put it inside. And my back officially is in pain. But it looks good, I think. I think it's sturdy, and the drawer works. That's the important part, I suppose. Smudges here and there, but I think, yeah, let's see. I couldn't really avoid that. Oh well. All right. Finally, now what's this? What's this? They haven't told me about that. So something like the ping pong game before takes quite a while, and then you watch a swimming run like this. It's just over like that. But yeah, so this is the last time I sit down in this couch, and it's not too late, but I have to take care of this now. I've had this couch for 8 years. It served me well. Let me lower the volume a little bit more. I don't really need to see. It was sort of predictable, but I still wanted to see what happened. Yeah, so I've had this couch for 8 years. It served me well for maybe 5 or 6 of those, and then the remaining couple has been a bit of a pain, but I've just put up with it. But it's like I'm sitting in a pit. It's like the cushion is kind of going down because I've been sitting so much in this couch over the years, and I'm not super light, so you know. Yeah, it's gonna be nice to get a new one. That's gonna be it's a little bit nerve-wracking for me to get a new, just change something like that. I've been so used to sitting in this, so I'm always nervous, like, am I gonna like the new one? But I mean, I know which one it is. Obviously, I know what it feels like, and I'm sure it's gonna be just fine. But I'm always like, what if I get the new couch and I don't like it? But I'm sure. I've always kind of thought to myself, ever since I was quite young, that whatever new situation that presents itself in your life, you tend to adapt pretty quickly to your new circumstances, your new reality. And this is a very small thing with a couch, but it's still like, well, I don't know, it's still a change for somebody who sometimes doesn't like change. I do and I don't, I suppose. But I always find that whatever change happens is usually for the best, whenever the change is a fact. Anyways, it's just a couch, but I'm very happy that I'm gonna get a new one. But now I just need to try and take this apart. So this is the last time I sit in it. I don't remember how I put it together, but I did that myself, I think. Did I do that? I don't know. Just a few things I watched recently. I've been watching quite a bit of stand-up. So last night at 4 a.m. Swedish time, there was a Netflix live stand-up show. Joe Rogan, Burn the Boat, it was called. And I'm not a Joe Rogan hater. I'm not a fan, but I do appreciate him. And I like the podcast, and I do listen to it from time to time.
but obviously I find that he repeats himself a lot, which you're gonna do when you talk as much as he does. And so watching his stand-up special, it's not something I hate watched. Like I've seen like one of his specials before. I really didn't like it at all because I don't think he's funny. See, that's the thing. A lot of stand-up comics, they're not funny. Like they have their material, honed in, but the delivery, the nuance, like the audience interaction, the charisma. You just need to have that as well to have a good set. And I feel like the same set could come off as a bomb, or somebody could come off as if they're bombing, and then somebody else could do the same set and really kill, because it's so much delivery involved. And that's not to say that I think his jokes are that whatever is in. I mean, that's not to say that I think that the delivery is the only thing that it is quite bad. But it doesn't really help that he is so monotonous in his aggression and his wide open eyes and his intensity and his screaming, and I wonder what his blood pressure is like when he does those shows. But I don't know. I just not a fan. I don't think he's funny. I did chuckle a few times. Like I said, I didn't hate watch it, but I was just curious about the whole live thing, because I haven't had Netflix in a while, and I thought I'd partake in it, and I was following a little bit along on Reddit and what have you. And seems like Letterboxd likes it more than Reddit does, which is to be expected, I suppose. But yeah, I'm not really a fan. But I did sort of enjoy watching, enjoy the experience to see where he was going. I didn't hate it, but like my rating would probably imply that I hated it. But I really didn't. I just thought that it was kind of shit. But that doesn't mean that I hated. I don't even know. It just didn't have a lot to offer. But I kind of had fun watching it, just seeing where he was going. And then I watched Shane Gillis' Beautiful Dogs, which I thought was funny. Like, I don't like a lot of his delivery or a lot of his sensibility, but some of his content is really great. And I watched Nikki Glazer's Good Clean Filth, which she did a couple of years ago, and more recently this year she did one called Someday You Will Die. And I do like Nikki Glazer, but some of her stand-up, I feel like it goes on for a bit too long, and she talks about the same subjects, and I'm like, well, kind of wouldn't mind a change in direction at this point. That's the way I feel sometimes with her stand-up, but I love her personality and her Conan appearances. I mean, she's one of those people. She has a lot of fans, but she's also gonna upset some people, with her material and the content of her material. I generally think she is very funny though, and I'm definitely a fan. And I think her and Conan together, like, watch her Conan clips for Conan's talk show years ago. She's really good on those. And then I watched Matt Rife, Natural Selection, whatever it was called. I had heard some vague things about him being popular, but then when the show starts, sort of becomes clear that he has a lot of female fans. And it sort of felt, I had the feeling from early on that a lot of the female fans in the audience, maybe because he's a good looking guy, and it maybe seemed to be that they were there to see him and not listen to him, if that makes sense. And I don't know if that's necessarily the case, but it seems like, going online later on, it seems like a lot of people are saying that, oh, he only has female fans because he's attractive and he's not even all that funny. Maybe he is, but a lot of people think he is funny as well. But they say that his crowd work specials are better, so maybe I should check those out. But this one was just rough in places, really quite rough. So stand up is something that I like, but I also kind of hate it, because when it's really funny, I get a lot out of it. Like my favorites, I hold them pretty high. But it takes a lot for me to find a new stand-up comic that I end up really enjoying. Anyway, but I think Shane Gillis, I might be a new fan. Like, I've known about him for a while, of course, but I haven't seen his stand-up at length until now. Anyway, I'm gonna get up. I'm already uncomfortable sitting in this couch for 7-8 minutes, so
Now, something I used to do, it was sort of a common occurrence in my, well, it was definitely deep in my editing repertoire. I would do the snaps. And something you want to think about if you want to do the snap transition, don't use the audio from the first clip, right? Because I see some people make that mistake. And then it just ends up being like an awkward audio transition which just sounds jarring. So what you want to do is the first clip, you just fake it. And then the second clip is when you actually snap. So let me demonstrate. All right, so let me cut to about 24 hours from now when I will have a new couch. All right, bye bye old couch, and enter the new one. Voila. Wow, this really lit up the room. I mean, I have the drapes open now, but yeah, that's awesome. I'm really looking for. I haven't even sat down in it yet. I mean, I have at the store, but not at home. So I'm just gonna sit down for a while and relax throughout the day, the evening, and yeah, and then kind of report back to you how it is. But it looks fucking great. Yeah, I'm so pleased with this just from looking at it. Oh. I think they're playing music again at the park that I filmed a couple of times. I'm quite a distance away from that, but I'm hearing music, so I'm guessing it's another one of those small cafe concerts. It is 9 p.m. It's track and field on the Olympics right now, which is one of my favorite things to watch. It was always the only thing that I liked when I was younger, up until I guess now, kind of. I've just enjoyed watching some of these sports that I never did before. But track and field is it's so epic sometimes. You know, the 100-meter race, they come out one by one, bam, they run. 10 seconds later, it's over, just like that. It's so badass. My couch is really good, by the way. It's another 24 hours later now, and yeah, it's much wider, the divan part. It's also a little bit flatter, not as cushiony, whatever. It's a bit harder. Anyway, so it's a really good couch, and I think I'm gonna really like it. I mean, I have all my stuff spread out in front of me on the divan. It's quite big, as you could see. So I have like my remote controllers, I have my computer, my headphones, my phone, all of these things laid out in front of me when I'm watching the Olympics, and I have the computer in front of me, and it's just really good. This is pretty much my favorite part of the year, when it's still kind of summer but fall. I mean, it's like August 6th today, so it is very much summer, but you know, it's coming to an end. The evenings are getting a bit darker. It's still very nice outside, but I can feel the advent of fall, and fall is my favorite season. So somehow going into fall, like before it gets super cold in the winter, like that little pocket of time, that transitional period, just awaiting all the shows that start back up, that I can allow myself to enjoy. And you know, there's a bunch of new food items that come out, roll out around the fall. The world kind of quietens down a bit and lowers itself to my energy, and it's just a chill period of the year, the chillest period of the year for me, because it's like, it's not super dark and bleak like in winter, but it's like the best of both worlds somehow. It's still, you know, kind of comfy outside, and it's that change that I just like, something I can't really put my finger on, but I've always felt that way, and it just instills a bit of calm within me, just feeling this bit of change and the oncoming of autumn. I don't know. A lot of people would say the same about spring, maybe. When things blossom up, that's when they feel alive. That's when their depression subsides. But for me, it's a bit of the opposite. Well, anyway, so I'm looking forward to September. I just associate those months with so many good things somehow. Last night I had a dream in which I thought I was potentially awake. Am I dreaming or am I awake? So I did my usual checkup, or my usual check. So I checked if the light switch worked, which it did, and it never does in my dreams, but it did work. So the light came on. Then I thought, well, that's very strange, because I don't feel like I'm awake. Am I really awake? Because there was this other time once when I woke up and I'd had a series of false awakenings, like a succession of false awakenings. So when you then actually do wake up for real, it almost, I mean, usually you're like, okay, now I'm awake, and it just feels different. It just feels, okay, now I'm actually awake. But that one time I woke up and I knew I was awake, but I wasn't completely sure, and that really scared me. But then last night I did my reality check in the dream. Okay, light switch comes on, that means that I'm awake. Because it never comes on in my dreams, never. But then I was sort of just standing there by my bedside, like not really knowing whether or not I was awake. And then eventually I did wake up for real. And it just kind of bothers me somehow that my trusty reality check doesn't work anymore. What the hell is up with that? Because I like knowing if I'm asleep or if I'm awake. Maybe we'll never know.